Well, it is about that time for another powerful, information packed episode on Ready, Set, Real Estate. A little tongue tied because I'm excited to announce that we have begun with tonight's episode, season 6. That's over 100 real estate episodes broadcasted live every Wednesday on Facebook Watch and YouTube live stream. You can subscribe to our radio podcast, keyword Ready, Set, Real Estate, available on Spotify, Google Play, Anchor FM, iTunes, Stitcher, Breaker, Castbox, on and on and on. The goal is where you are, that's where you'll find us. I'm really excited about today's episode. I'm excited about all the episode. I think that's just the life that I live, is filled with excitement, action, and more importantly, it's because I have good people in my life. I have good people. If you are tuning in on any of our lives, please drop a comment down below. Say hi, say hello. And if you have any questions, we want to hear from you. Be sure you are engaging with us because that's how we learn together. You know, I like to say connect, build, and share. So quick announcements. If you are new to us, this show is a proud supporter of Real Estate 100 Youth Foundation, where we teach and empower youth ages 10 and up with real estate literacy, terms, concepts, and careers as an alternate pathway to success. As an alternate pathway to success. Okay, and keywords. I just remembered we're going to learn a lot tonight, so we'll hold off on our real estate word of the week because I think we're going to learn so much more today that I want to give our guests an opportunity to share their knowledge and their experience. Tonight's episode, and let's start there, is about your net worth equals, or let me say the other way around. It should be the other way around. Your network equals your net worth. Go ahead and drop that in the comment below. Your network equals your net worth. I get to feature founding partner Evan Jefferson. I said founding partner, excuse me, founder and my friend and business partner, colleague, associate, and just an all-around amazing individual, amazing spirit, Evan Jefferson, international best-selling author of the Black Billionaires Club book. Yes, also available in French. And he is founder of the Black Billionaires Club, which I'm a proud partner and supportive of, or member, I should say, member and supporter too. And he is also founder of ERGJ Black Bazaar. And it is an Afrocentric marketplace where he is really practicing and showing all of us how to do group economics. And alongside, we have BBC member and founder of Inspire Thy World, Antoine Lowry, who joins us from North Charleston, South Carolina. And I really am excited to have Antoine share his story because he has actually just successfully closed on his first wholesale deal. And I felt like this would be a timely conversation, Well, without further ado, let's bring our guests to the show and let's rock and roll. Let us rock and roll. And I'm adjusting my window frame. So let me see. How do we do this with now 3 people where this looks, I want to unmute Antoine. Let's do that.
There you go.
There it is. I'm in this piece. All right. How you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling absolutely amazing, man. Antoine's still on mute from kind of way. He might have to unmute himself. I'm not quite sure. Oh, there
Hey,
you
good evening.
go.
Can you hear
Oh,
me
there
now?
it is. Yeah, he chose to unmute him. I didn't do it, y'all. That was him. He did.
Great, great. Thanks for having me, Evan, Lisa.
We are going to have fun tonight. You know why? Because it's just like talking with my family. It's like a dinner conversation. It's late in the evening where you both are, late at night, and it's evening time for me. And so I also want to make sure. Oh, look at Antoine. Look, listen, he is not sleeping. He's representing that vault life. He's got
Got
that
you.
vault life hoodie,
Look
wealthy
at you.
mindset.
Look.
ERGJ, you can get the ERGJ custom dashikis over at the ERGJ Black Bazaar. Listen, we come ready, y'all. I want to say, hey, Vivian Reed. She says, good evening, everyone in the BBC. Ava says, good evening, family. And yes, Vivian is excited. She says, your net worth equals your net worth. And we are in the building. We are here. Okay. It is funny. So Evan shared. So for those of you who are new to Evan Jefferson, I've had the honor and privilege to be featured on his show, and I'd be remiss actually if I didn't have him on because I've said this publicly on his show, and I said it on various of my platforms, and it gives me an opportunity for those of you who are new to Ready Set Real Estate to learn that Real Estate 100, the online curriculum, came to pass because of this brother right here on my left, right there, Evan Jefferson. It's because of Evan Jefferson, who asked me, he said, how is it that you're connecting with people who are not local to you? And I honestly said, I don't know. Right, Evan? I said, I don't know.
See, at the time,
And
you didn't know.
he said, well, you should come on my platform and let's do a youth wealth workshop. And we are now in our 3 year of collaborations and true collaborations. And Evan, I'm going to segue there to you because you have did this to me when I use that word loosely. Please educate the people on collaborations. And if there is anything I miss, by all means, please plug that in.
Uh, well, I'll tell you that a beautiful thing you got going on here, Ready Set Real Estate. Thanks again for taking the time to have us out here to share with your network. I believe that we don't just connect people, we connect networks, and then as we connect those networks, now we can really begin to thrive as a community. You mentioned collaboration. I think that's so key to whatever we decide to do. You can, if you want to go fast, you go by yourself. But if you want to go far, and that far is so profound because we're talking about your legacy going far. We're talking about your money going far. We're talking about your influence going far. Then you got to go together. And so what I find is that uh, many just don't know how to collaborate. It's a conditioned thing that it's always compete, compete, compete. One man up, and it's beginning to understand that there's enough for everybody. And if we really work together, then that makes that lightens the load for everybody as well. It's a shift in mindset to say, you know what, just like we're here, all three of us are here. We could have said, hey, bump Lisa show. I'm gonna create my own show. That's kind of like we see, I'm gonna create my own. I'm gonna create my own, and it's cool to have your own. But there are times where you actually need to come together and connect your networks because there are some people who don't know you, Lisa. Some people don't know me, don't know Antoine, and I think it's important that they do know us so that they can get the help that they need, and we can get to know them as well. So that all comes through collaboration.
I like it. Antoine, what's your take on collaboration, especially because when you and I connected, has it been about a year and a half? You declared something in our conversation, and that has now come full circle. So, share with us about collaboration. And this all happened through this man over here.
Collaboration, I feel, is so important. When I'm growing up or I'm starting different businesses, I would always run by myself and think, got to do it all by yourself. But like I said, I linked up with Evan Jefferson, and something about his energy, his spirit, I felt good with. And ever since then, I said I got to be connected with him. And since I was, I'm part of the BBC, and I linked up with you. But and we like I said, we did some things together, and it's like now, when I'm doing things, it's I can't even explain it because it's like more than myself, and it's the reach is so far now. Even with like I say, your book, I had my kids read your book, Real Estate 101, and they loved it. I was so surprised what they gained out of that book, and I said, you know what, every kid need to have that book in hand. And like you said, I sponsored some books, and just that you showed me a way that we both can, get recognition and get ourselves out there, which is amazing. And like, I think I ordered another set to sponsor for more kids, but collaboration is so big. And like you said, you can go so far and reach. Like, I'm reaching, you're all the way from California, Evans, and Atlanta. I'm here in Charleston, South Carolina, and we're, connected in between. So collaboration is very important.
You mentioned BBC, being a member as BBC. So I'm going to ask the founder, Mr. Jefferson, Brother Jefferson, talk to us about what hashtag BBC is for those who have maybe seen it on my timeline that I've said I'm so excited about being a returning presenter, speaker, guest for the Black Billionaires Club. Please share with our new listening and viewing audience about the Black Billionaires Club.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Black Billionaires Club first is a book. About 2 years ago, I'm a certified financial educator, and I study money and wealth and wealth generation and creation.
Hold on. I have to, because you just did that. So happy. I'm certified financial. This brother here is amazing when it comes to money. All right. So he just did that, very modest, but it's all good. I'm gonna big you up. And I've referred some of my clients and my students and people when it comes to money and the stock and investment. Listen, go ahead.
I talked to Clear Passion today, right? We had a 30-minute meeting today. Well, we had a 30-minute session today.
Okay.
I probably talked to her about 10 minutes, and I sent her on her way. And she was like, I said, you got any more questions? No, good. I know the next steps. I said, that's right. Then when you get done with that, then you call me again. So she was like, you're very efficient. I said, yes, then don't take all that.
Exactly. Yay. And she did text me. She said, thank you so much for connecting me with Evan. You see, and that's an example. Listen, folks, that's an example of staying in your lane. She's working with me on real estate, and she is inquiring about stocks. I said, let me reach out to my BBC network. This way. Okay. Let me reach out to my BBC network. And so, Evan, please go ahead. Certified financial educator. I just had to pause and just give you that just acknowledgement, because you have created courses and so much on your platform that people can really learn. And I'm excited to tell them about the investment group.
Yeah. So it's a book, I wrote, just spearheaded by just studying wealthy people. And at the time I looked Forbes 100 top 100 list, and I didn't see anybody black. So I was like, okay, well, let me find out who's wealthy that looks like me. And then as I did a little bit of research, I saw that there really wasn't nothing created to identify those individuals. So I created it myself. A lot of times for me, if I'm given a problem, I pretty much come up with a solution versus trying to pawn it off to somebody else. So I was tasked with writing a book. I wrote the book, very phenomenal launch to the book and all that. And since that time, I said, well, I don't want to just be a book that fizzles out, that just kind of goes away. And some of the things I learned from actually researching and learning about these people, I said, we got to keep this moving forward. So we created a club, and the whole idea of the club is to study wealthy people and do what wealthy people do and have similar success. And so as we study those billionaires and more, just successful people as a whole, there are similar traits, similar characteristics, similar habits that most wealthy people kind of have. And so we've created or developed basically a 4-pillar foundation for the club, one being personal development, which is the priority. to become the best version of yourself that you can be, to become more attractive. And as you become more attractive, you start to attract money versus chasing money, attract opportunity versus chasing opportunity. You become a magnet.
Wait, you mean to tell me you're not telling folks to go chase money? You mean to tell me you're not telling people to go chase the bag?
Yeah, not at all. That's hard labor. I think that we've been conditioned to pick cotton, and that's hard labor. But once you level up in your understanding of life and laws, universal laws, and things like that, you realize that as long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, what I'm called to do, that there's provision with the vision, and you can begin to attract money to yourself, attract opportunity, attract stuff like this that we're doing.
Provision with the vision. Drop that in the comments, y'all. Provision with the vision.
Yeah. So that's personal development. Then we have business development, because a lot of those billionaires, most of them own a business. They run a business, and the understanding there is that generational wealth is built through business. So for those that have a desire, or those that just may not have a desire now, they may have a desire later on. We want to help them to develop their business, to go from being a side hustle, if it's a side hustle, to go from being an idea, if it's an idea, and actually develop something that's tangible. We've seen quite a few. I went on a tour, and I went to Birmingham, Alabama, and I spoke there for 2 hours. And there was a lady who took in everything that I was saying, and she started her own hot barbecue sauce business. And I just ordered her barbecue sauce. And so things are happening just from people that are hearing the word. So business development to help people start their business or to expand their business. Then we have financial literacy. Financial education, teach people about money. We know that that's a big issue in our country, that we have 70% of people who are living paycheck to paycheck, mostly because they're just not good stewards of what comes into their hand. And they don't understand the different tools and vehicles that's available for them to really leave benefits instead of bills at the end of their time here on the earth. And then we have investment education. Once we teach you about money, we want to teach you what to do with it. We want to teach you how to grow it. We want to teach you how to multiply that which comes into your hand. And with the investment education, we have started our first investment club for the group. That's in 2019. We got 30 members out of the almost 100 that we have now, that we pulled together over $10,000 invested in the stock market. And with you guys' help, we'll be doing that for real estate in 2020.
Listen to that. Let me get caught up with all the excitement that's happening on the live right here. So Ava says it's power and unity. Thank you for that. Absolutely. Felicia Gardner, welcome. She says, good evening, everyone. All of the speakers are a powerhouse. I received that. Thank you. And she says, hashtag BBC. If you're a BBC member, please go ahead and hashtag that. I love to feel the presence and the energy that we are in the building. And Vivian says, just looking at how Evan has expanded this. Yes, he has. Evan just reached out to each and every individual. And if you get a phone call from this brother when he's reaching out to say, let's do something, I suggest you take him up on the offer. It will transform your life, no doubt. Speaking of that, speaking about transformation, Antoine, let's talk about your journey from, just getting connected to where you started, and you and I had had just kind of a brief connection / kind of consult, because you were talking about speaking when I connected with you about a year ago, and you said it was something you wanted to do, and I agreed. I said it was needed. I think it is needed to see more of our brothers out here speaking their truth and sharing their journeys, especially because you're a father of two. And I've watched you not only strive for your personal goals, but you are true to what it means in terms of legacy building. So share with us, kind of walk us through how getting connected with the people in BBC has led you to now successfully closing on your first wholesale real estate deal, which, by the way, hello.
Oh man, I thank you for that. Yes, it was a long journey, definitely. Like I said, just waking up mentally, get my mindset wealthy mindset with the help of Evan, talking with you, and just being connected with powerful people like yourself. Um, it's like Evan, a lot of things that he teach in the BBC. I mean, I don't think I tell him how much it really, really expand and leveled my own thinking up and awareness of money, of stocks, of running a business a certain way. I mean, it was amazing. And like I said, I was watching your shows all the time. Like every podcast you would, I would be the first one on there. Going through the day, I cut off all TV, all like music, sports, and I digged in for like a year straight, just learning and taking in so much stuff, Evan, so much stuff from you, Lisa, that I gained, to get to a level where now I have a wealthy mindset. So with that being said, um, there was a lot of real estate things that you would talk about that I would get spark an interest to.
Mhm.
And a guy from named Tommy Holt, he taught wholesaling. So I did take a class, because you gotta invest in yourself. So
Right.
I was, paying for classes, taking a lot of information that I'm getting from your podcast, taking a lot from Evan, and I dived into real estate. Um, and like I said, even with the connection Evan bring, like he had Roberta Husky, I took her class
Right.
scholarship with her, and I learned some things that I didn't know, like further than wholesaling. Real estate is so many moving parts, but I learned so much more now. So like I said, I closed on my first deal like last week. Um, it was amazing feeling to from self teaching yourself to learning them, taking classes and learning it and actually getting paid for it. um Immediately after I signed, I have another honestly, I have two deals on the contract right now, and on my way home I got another call, and I got an appointment for Saturday. So it's like once, and I always hear once you get that first deal, they're going to come. I mean, I hear people say it, but now it's like I got three deals now in the woodworks of, and I'm gonna close them down. And like I said, I just thank you
You're a
both for all
closer
your
now,
help.
huh? You're a closer.
He's a
Congratulations.
closer.
I'm closing
You're
down.
a closer.
Oh, like word. And honestly, real estate that help people is not even, and like you said, honestly, I don't even chase money anymore. I give
Right.
people value. This one coworker of mine, he tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Buy my house." He's trying to, move. Um, he didn't. Honestly, it wasn't situation where I can wholesale it, but from learning some stuff from you, Lisa and Roberta, now I can learn other ways that I can, get his house sold for him or help him out. In which I was telling them, you know what, at the end of the day, if I don't even make some money off it, I just wanted, I know you really want this other job, and it's about helping them. But I literally got a guy who's want to buy his property, um, and he's coming to meet him Friday, and just the fact that I'm helping and not even looking for money, but it's gonna come to me, and I'm really seeing that now, that I'm just giving people value and really helping people out, because people are really in need of, you got some people out there taking advantage of, older people, or just people who in a desperate situation. But honestly, I'm here to help any which way. A deal came by, and I told the lady, you know what, if I don't even make anything of it, I want to help you. As a real sweet lady, she needed to get out of her house, and now that I'm seeing by doing that, like doing some of the universal laws that I was practicing, I'm really seeing the rewards of it now. It's really coming tenfold. Like I said, being on your show, being on Evan's show multiple times, being a speaking guest at an elementary school yesterday. I mean, so many things are coming every day. I can't even keep up, but I feel like putting in the work and valuing people, and now not worrying about money, and it's actually coming to me tenfold right now.
Got it. I'm going to go to Evan and then I want to come back to you because I want to talk about Inspire Thy World. And I want to talk about some of the naysayers and the challenges that you experience to get to where you are. Okay. But I want to go to Evan where Evan, I'm going to ask you to talk about how important discipline is. You know, I'm hearing Antoine said he consumed us for 12 months. So share with us how important it is to align yourself with something like the BBC or individuals just like yourself. I mean, you've created a space and a place for like minds. So talk to us about the significance. I know one thing you said in terms of representation, right? You looked up on the Forbes list, no one looked like you. So just really expand on that, because you know, here we're talking about the end result, just one end result. And I know you have lots to share of many people who have similar results in their own way. Like you said, the sister that's got her own barbecue sauce, right? So, and you featured people on your show. So talk to us about that.
Yeah. So, I guess you could say it just trickles down, right? So, as the founder, leader, president, I don't know, just a dude that cares enough. You know, if I lack consistency, then the group will lack consistency. If I lack discipline, then the group will lack discipline. So, my whole intent, and this word intent is actually good. I think that you got to do more than just have intentions, but my whole intent is to find ways to help other people make money, right? And it's a philosophy that I live by. It comes from Zig Ziglar, who says this, that if you help enough other people get what they want, you'll have everything that you want.
Right.
My whole day is consumed with helping other people get what they want. Obviously, that requires me learning what they want. But generally speaking, most people want the same stuff, to live a happy life, pleasurable life, don't be out of debt, have some money, inheritance, and all that good stuff. So, but the key of my transformation, and I would say key for Antoine's transformation, key for your transformation, was number one, it was the starting point of all achievement is desire. You got to want it, right? Everybody don't want to get rich. This is what we're going to learn. Everybody don't want to be in real estate. Everybody don't want to do everything. So,
right.
So the desire is the starting point of all achievement. Once we get past desire, then we got to say, okay, now I got to have an aim. I got to figure out what I want, right? I got to figure out where I want to go, right? And so if Antoine, as he said, he wanted to be in real estate, that was his desire, and this was his goal, his destination point. Then now it's like, okay, well, I got to get around real estate people. That only makes sense, right? I want to be in real estate. I got to start getting around real estate people. Got to go to class, got to go to workshops. I got to listen. I got to dive all in, just like you study anything else. And so the key is study. Now, studying consistently, like it's one thing to study one time. It's another thing to study all the time. Let me say that again for the people back. It's one thing to study one time. It's another thing to study all the time. And so I study all the time. I study people. I study trends. I study. I'm studying personalities. I'm studying all the time because I want to learn, and that's a desire of mine to learn as much as I can. Everybody put in console as much as I can. And see, we must understand that there are absolutely no limits to each and every one of us except us. We are the limit, right? So if I wanted to, I can earn as much money as I can. I can learn as much as I can. I can read as much as I can. All these things I can do as much as I can, and just dive into the nature force, which says that how tall will a tree grow? As high as it can, right? It's going to grow as high as it can. So it's the natural order of things in this world that we live in for all other things other than humans to max capacity, right? But we humans make things a little bit more difficult. We make it a little bit more complex because we get out of our instinctual nature and we get into opinions, convoluted, complex, convoluted things that really we really need to just get back to simple. And so each and every one of us, we are the sum total of our thoughts. Our thoughts turn into our vocabulary, and our vocabulary and our thoughts turns into our actions. Our actions turn into our results. And so if you and I are not getting the results that we want out of life, all we have to do is just get back to what's coming into our thoughts, our mind. That's really it. It's really just, It's I know in our mind we want to make it seem like it's more difficult than that. It's got to be more complex. No, if you're not getting the results that you want out of life, it all traces back to your thinking. You change the way that you think, you'll change your life. And so I've seen Antoine change the way he think. He said, you know what? I'm tired of putting garbage in. I'm tired of eating garbage. And he said, I'm going to change my life. And that's what he had a desire to do. And that's exactly what he did. Is there, and think about it. Is there anything that anyone that's watching right now that you have said in your lifetime that you really wanted, whether it was good, bad, or indifferent? And you wanted it so bad that you was willing to do whatever was necessary for you to get it, whether it was good, bad, or indifferent. There's a time in my life where I wanted a lot of bad stuff. And guess what? I got it because I went out. But now we start talking about going after the good things in life, the good stuff, the stuff that's valuable. It's like I want it, but I don't really gotta have it. If it falls in my lap, okay. But if I gotta work for it, I just keep doing what I've been doing, right? So the truth of the matter is we know that it works because we work it typically only for stuff that's not very valuable. We go after it, and we've been going after it since we were children. But now that we start talking about, going after wealth and going after riches and going after real estate and building a legacy, we keep talking about children's children, but none of us are really putting in the effort to actually get there. It's just like a slogan. It's like it's good talk. It sounds good coming out of our mouth. But when you start looking at your daily disciplines, right? It's either two things you're going to do, Lisa. You're either going to practice a discipline or you're going to practice neglect. And the thing about neglect is that neglect leads to regret. So I just decided I'm going to discipline myself. Everybody put in console, discipline myself. I'm going to discipline myself. I'm a grown up. I'm mature. I'm over 21. No one's going to tell me what I got to do. I have to decide to do it for myself. And so I've decided to discipline myself. And you see, Antoine decided at some point in time he's going to discipline himself. We've seen Lisa get her ish together and discipline herself too.
Absolutely. So I was just, we have a sounding board in our chat box, and I want to go to Christopher, who asked, how can I get involved? Where do I start? I've been watching and learning. This is my dream. And I want to just kind of highlight that moment because you had shared that with all of us. What we are doing now is because there was that desire, as you said, that desire to live and co-create the life in which we desire and we're dreaming. But it's not just a dream, y'all. This is a vision come true. I love to replace this word dream because dream, again, is like this word hope. I can't do anything with it. I like tangible stuff. I want to be able to touch it and feel it. You remember when I forget the movie with Ice Cube and the Epps brother, and she said, I want to feel the ticket when she won the $1 million, lottery. She said, I want to feel the ticket. That's me. I want to feel it. So I like to deal with things in practicality that I can deal with. So we've got Brother Dean's in the building. Again, a lot of great people we have on that are doing amazing things for the people and the community. And yes, it starts with disciplining self, disciplining the mind, and being selective about what is your mental diet. Since we're talking about discipline, I'd like to get back to Antoine to share about what Inspire Thy World means. And this was where we had an opportunity to collaborate for your speaking platform. So share with us about what Inspire Thy World is.
Well, Inspire Thy World is my life brand, and that's the uplift, motivate, and celebrate everyone that I encounter. I mean, I'm here to spread positive energy and really show people that we can really create the life we want and celebrate the people that doing it before us, in the uplift, and also motivate. So that's pretty much my life brand. And I do that with everyone. And now that I'm looking back, I mean, everyone that I deal with, connect with, I can really see that I have an influence on them. So I'm always, you know, I don't. It's not too many things can really get me mad at anything. I'm gonna live a positive life, and I'm gonna bring positive energy to everyone. Um, and
I
like
want
I
to ask
said,
you, I want to ask you about that word, not to, I just want to expand on something you said. You said, I influence everyone. Would you have considered yourself an influencer prior to? Um, at any point, would you have envisioned that you're making such an impact on people?
no, no, I don't think so, because I was that one that I always know I was different. I always know I had a passion, but I never. And the day that I really found my passion and my mission, it's like it was where I had to kind of get out of my shell and really, you know, talk to more people. Like I was,
Mm,
yeah, growing up, I wasn't not that person who, you know, I wouldn't have outgoing or speaking, but it's like when I know there's a mission, I have a life mission. It's like I can't be quiet, and I talk to everyone now, and I pretty much motivate people, and they even tell me like, man, my energy gets them riled up. You know what I mean? So it's like I got a mission now, so I can't, you know, I can't not complete my mission. So I'm gonna go out and I'm influence everyone, and I'm gonna show. And I was never the one who showed things what's going on in my life. I was more like a private person, but I'll do it. I'm doing the youth, the adults in the world a disservice if I don't show it, because you know, like I needed that person when I was younger to
mm.
look up to, and I didn't have that. Like I honestly, I didn't. I'm the my nephew was Ethan, and I needed that big uncle that I didn't have. And honestly, I had some maybe bad influences that I look up to just from the neighborhood I was in. But I mean, I had a strong mom who you know instilled in me a strong foundation, and a grandmother who I know prayed for me, because it's like my goal and my duty and my life mission is to take care of both of them. I mean the world too, but definitely those two powerful, strong women. And just to say this year, I know she wanted a particular car, and to say that I'm in a position to put a bow on it, give her the keys, and say, "Mom, don't worry about it." I can't even express that, but she deserved everything and more. But that's kind of where I'm at with it.
I saw that. I saw that. So I wanted to acknowledge, yes, and it's interesting because offline, and I'll save this for Evan to build on his platform, but offline we were talking about the significance of the decisions that women are making that are actually impacting the males that they are raising. And so here we have an example that you were saying with having a strong mom and a strong grandmother that were making intentional decisions that would create a foundation for you. What I also heard was you say the significance of being represented in terms of, you know, a model. So you are speaking out, even though you and I both talked about just kind of feeling a little bit nervous and anxious about moving forward, even having people talk you out of it. But you were saying that it's so much more important to have your voice being heard for the little Antoine back in the day, right? But also there's a little Antoine somewhere out in the world that needs to be seen. I want to read this quote because you said something about, you know, being, you know, having to show up or having to speak out because you know you needed to do it. And so this quote says, "The time is always right to do what is right." Evan,
It's always right to do what is right.
how does that quote resonate with you?
The time is always right to do what is right, man. Hey, here's the deal, guys. The key word is do, right? And this is interesting because we talk about DO being due and also DUE being due. What we find too often is that a lot of people mean well but don't necessarily do well. The time is not always right to talk well. It's not always right just to think well. It's not always right, but it is always right to do what is right. And I truly believe that if you and I, if all people, just do what is right, and do what you intended to do. Like, you ever had somebody be like, well, I meant to do this, I intended, this is what my intention was, but then you say, well, here was your result. Like it didn't match. And so what really is the barometer is the actions, right? I always talk about that tree that the good master said it was wicked because it didn't bear fruit. And I keep saying, I'm pretty sure the tree wanted to bear fruit. It intended to bear fruit, but it didn't bear fruit. And I believe that once we get to a place of honesty and truth and say, man, am I doing that which I intend or that which I mean to do? And if not, then the great question that we must ask ourselves is, why not? Why is it that I'm always in a position where I said I meant to and I intended to, but I didn't? I should have, I could, I would have, but I didn't.
Right.
You got to ask yourself, well, why do I keep finding myself in these positions where I can look back with regret and say, man, I just didn't cut the mustard. I meant to. I intended to, but I didn't. See, that's a character issue, right? That is only solved through disciplining yourself and saying, you know what? I recognize, I'm honest with myself, and I recognize that this is a flaw. And I'm going to change it. I'm going to do something about it. It's no longer going to be a hindrance to my forward progress and my movement. I'm going to start doing. And that way I ain't got to do much talking. The actions speak louder than words. That's so true, because now people see and they don't have to be wondering about what I intended, because here is the results. And results, they speak for themselves.
We talked about this today, about the track record. Believe, you know, what is it when people show you who they are, believe them. It's track record.
Believe them. I'm telling you, Lisa, like that, you know, because I've heard it, we probably heard it all our life, but when you really start to walk in that, you start saying, wait a second, you just, you know, all you gotta do is take a couple, you see it 1 or 2 times, like, okay, that's just how you are. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just how you are. And I ain't trying to change it. That's just how you done did it twice. Oh, that's just how you are. It's gonna happen again. It's gonna happen again. It's gonna happen again. And many people, they just will not get to a space where they will accept their own issues, their own stuff, and say, you know what? That's just my makeup. And now that I'm aware of it and I admit it, now I can start to fix it. That's why the 12-step program say, man, the first step is to admit. You got to admit. Like, if you never get to a place of admitting your own flaws, your own issues, whatever it is, man, you're going to stay the same. You're going to stay an alcoholic, or you're going to stay addicted to this mess, or addicted to drama, addicted to dysfunction, whatever it is. But man, once you admit, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, you got me.
That's like the meme, right? You know, still broke, still late, still sad, still hungry, still dieting, still... You just staying still, right?
Man, hey, let me ask you this, Antoine. Let me ask you this, man. How many people, right? Let's just say over the past decade, because we get to the end of the decade, and you had some people that dropped out of your life and they came back in your life, something like that, or you dropped out of your life, you came back in, and then you're like, okay, well, maybe they came back in my life for a reason. Maybe they've changed, and then you watch it for a couple seconds, you're like, man, they still. They I thought that they might have changed, but no, still talking the same, still showing up late, still not honoring their word, still not. They still doing the same stuff they were doing the last time. But then you meet a person, Antoine, same on the flip side, that they came back into your life, or y'all bumped back into each other at the childhood friends, whatever. You be like, whoa, you ain't the same. They shock you. They surprise you. Like, wait a second. All of this stuff is going on in your life. They be like, oh, you got out of debt, and oh, you bought your first house, and oh, you bought your mama a car. Like, this ain't the same Antoine that I was hanging out with on the corner, and we was over there smoking the cigarettes and all that stuff. This ain't the same dude. You done changed. You ever had, Antoine, you done changed. Like it's something bad. You done changed.
Oh man.
So here's the question that I have for Antoine. What I want to describe, I want, it's not a question, it's why I want you to share, because I've been privy to hear your experience about this. What was the impact on you to actually give back?
To give back.
And you
Mm.
did, and I'll be more specific. Okay, so let's paint this in context. You just did your speaking engagement to a group of youth, and you were on like cloud 19 when we talked about it. You were like, "Oh my gosh, this was amazing." So sometimes people are thinking about what I can get, right? What am I going to get out of it? How I'm going to benefit? How I'm going to win? And I would like for you to share with people just from your spiritual experience, even physical. Um, the impact that you had to actually be able to sow into the next generation.
Okay. That is big. Giving is a big part of my life. And I must say 6, 7 years ago, start going to church and learning about giving and tithing. And I sat down with my grandmother and just asked her about tithing. Honestly, I go to church, pay a couple of dollars in it, but I like I said, I don't know everything about religion, but I know enough to say I'm here on earth to make a difference. I'm here as on foot, and I see what's around me, and I know that I'm here to make a difference. So honestly, I vow to myself in the world to say, you know what, I'm going to 10% of any money, all money that I make, 10% of it. I'm a if I go to church, I'm a tithe some, but if I go out in the world and see any need, I mean, no matter what, just I'm a tithe it. I mean, I that's a lot of sometimes I make a lot of money, but I vowed 10 years, I mean 6 years ago to do it, and I don't care what need I see. So I'm always a giver. Like I said, fast forward to last week, well, this week when I spoke with the kids. I had an amazing time. First speaking engagement, I was a little nervous, but the bond with these kids that really accept me and receive me and my nephew words, and I left out there, like I said, on cloud a billion. You know what I mean? That's what I call
Cloud a billion.
it's all about a billion. I'm on the cloud a billion, and I'm like, they give me a gift and all. Like, this lady was really following me and studying me. She gave me a miniature globe with a nice card and some with all the kids' name on it. And I said, I gotta give these kids something back, in return. What is something that's so valuable that I want to give back? And I couldn't think of nothing but your book, Miss Lisa, the Real Estate 101 for the youth, just because I know my kids got so much out of that book. So I called you up. I ordered, some more books, and the insert that you put in is amazing as well. So I'm gonna visit that school again. Matter of fact, this week I'm gonna give the teachers. It was 3 teachers all together, a shirt and the books for those kids, probably with a notepad and a pen, where they can start journaling and writing some things back. But yeah, giving is everything. I mean, it's so many things that I give to needs. I mean, I was in Gerald's tire one day, right? Just an old lady. She must be ran over something on her tire. She couldn't leave. She didn't have the money. She really had to get a tire. And I'm like, you know what? I didn't have it then, honestly. So not like that. But I was checking my account and said, you know what? I was headed walking there to pay for her tire. I think a nephew came or son came and paid. But I mean, anytime I'm seeing any kind of anything, I'm a give. And I was blessed. I mean, ever since then, everything that I wanted or desired to, like I visioned it, put it down, work hard for it, and I'm actually getting it. And I don't know, like I said, giving is so important. So
It is important. So I asked you that question because I actually wanted to tie this in to what we are doing here on our platforms and when we talk about collaborations and with group economics. So Antoine, you didn't know that I did this, and Evan actually was surprised about this. And so when you purchased an order, and for those of you who are listening, we have an opportunity to support one another when we are producers and co-creators and we have a product or a service to offer. So because I'm a publisher, Antoine was able to purchase or invest in my publishing company. As a result of Antoine investing in my publishing company, I was able to contribute my 10% of that order to the BBC, which was as a result of the BBC founding person to allow me to get Antoine's business, that was my give back. And that's what we should put into perspective. Do not forget where you came from. Do not forget the people that are helping you get there. Do not forget. Do not forget. Because if we begin to forget, that is when we see the dismantling of our own ecosystem. Evan, build on that, would you?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, I'm building on so much here. Yeah, but the giving, man, the giving. You know, I will say for me, my whole day is filled with giving, and so for me, it's all about giving opportunity. I don't give fish anymore. I give people a chance to go and fish and learn how to fish, and so I don't give fish anymore unless it's to someone who really just got to need to eat, right? But to able-bodied people who are just yeah, I don't do the go giving fish anymore. I give people opportunity to go out and get their own fish. But that's a part of my giving. It's like, okay, we can really move forward with people when people are ready to move forward. And my whole challenge every day is really I compete with my spiritual father. And I just simply tell him, I'm going to beat you today and give it. I'm going to beat you. It's like, I feel like I got my father back when I was, trying to beat him in race. I'm going to beat you today. And so I'm finding these different ways. Right now, we're working on a program for kids. And so we're taking these little, let me see if I can show you real quick. I got some kids I'm working with. So we're taking these prints, right? And I'm having them do arts and crafts and turn the prints into portraits, right? And then we had the kids go out and sell them and make money, right? I'm giving them an opportunity to learn how to fish. Absolutely. And so, and the adults didn't want to do it. I said, well, give me your kids. We're gonna do it anyway. So y'all can do it with me or not. So I'm working with the children saying, hey, here's a way for you not to have to be standing in the middle of the street begging for fundraising stuff, selling water, stuff like that. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but here's some other opportunities for you to get out here, for us to show kids other ways, right, to get some capital, to raise some capital, to earn some money, so they don't have to go steal nothing, they go buy themselves. They can do for self at an early age. And these are just little simple things that I do all the time, like in my own sphere of influence. Like, here's what I'm gonna do today to give back. And I just have found in my life, just like Antoine has found, I just can't outgive God, but I'm gonna keep trying, because he keep giving me wonders and all that stuff as well. So just to know that people respect a person more when they genuinely care enough to help you without asking for anything in return. It's like, I just love you as an individual, as a person, as a human being, and it's important to me that you survive. It's important to me that you're healthy. I am my brother's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. Everybody not like that, but that's how I am, and it works. So I keep doing it.
It absolutely does work. Antoine, go ahead.
I want to piggyback on Evan.
Yeah.
Your time is your most valuable asset, and Evan, you will every day give the people so much value, and a lot of people don't take advantage of it. But it's like, I have some ideas written down. My thing is, I gotta pace myself that you give me that. Once I know this vehicle of real estate is going to fund some of these projects, but I'm gonna really sit down with you, because you freely give, like you said, opportunity. And I mean, I probably got maybe 10 ventures just because of you was just getting free now, like not even being a part of the BBC. That, like I said, I value that and I thank you for that. And I don't think the masses really understand what what you're doing, and all the how much you care, and all the information and free value that you're giving out there. So I appreciate it. And if a lot of people don't want to take advantage of it, best believe I'm here all the time. I'm listening to you. You're keeping me going. I mean, you got me on stocks. I'm teaching other people stocks because of you. It's amazing. So I just want to say, the opportunity that you literally freely give to the world, I definitely see it, and and honestly, some things we going to talk with, and we going to joint venture together on some things. Like I said, I want to pace myself because I gotta zero in and focus on real estate right now, but that's really going to fund some of these ventures. But like I said, thank you again. I just wanted to jump in on that, but I do value your time that you give to everyone.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate that.
We appreciate you saying that. Thank you. I think one of the biggest things when you have an opportunity for any of you listening, that when you are on a public platform, that you give credit where credit is due. One of the things that we as human beings crave innately is one significant thing, and it's to be appreciated and acknowledged. It is to be acknowledged. We want to be seen. So when you say to someone, I see you, that right there creates this, it shocks the spirit, it awakens the soul, and it drives them to do so much more. So if you have any, I'll take questions, any questions anyone has. I know that some folks asked, how do I get started? I want Evan to share about, what the BBC offers, where to sign up. And of course, Antoine, I want to give you an opportunity to share about how people can shop and support Inspire That World and any other ventures that you are doing, and to support your business as well as a dealer in real estate. So I first want to acknowledge Felicia. I really like this, and I really want to thank our viewing audience who's live. She says, it's becoming more clear. I love that already. Clear that I have to move beyond good intentions and work towards achieving results. And when I totally agree. When we shift just being, that's almost like just being good enough, right, Evan? Just being more than good enough.
Yeah.
So now it's like, now I'm a producer, right? Now I'm a co-creator. Now we've got results. And this is why I move away from words like dreams and hopes, because I can't do anything with that, y'all. That's just me personally. That's how I've wired my brain. So I invite you to think about some of the subconscious programming that you have, because this is, as Evan shared with the BBC, one of the pillars is personal development, and it all starts in the mind. Thoughts are things. Thoughts are things. So Evan, share with us, how should we, as we get ready to wrap up, and I will give some folks time to type in any questions. Let me highlight Vivian's comment here, and then we'll get into you, Evan. Oh, not Vivian. Ava says, I agree. They don't know the blessing God has given to us, named Mr. Evan Jefferson. Listen, exactly. If I could sing, Evan, I'd sing to you, brother. Me. I would sing to you. I mean, I'd have a whole, ballad for you, but it's not going to work out. It's going to sound like something else. So they're going to say,
I will say this, man, that the biggest, for me, the biggest appreciation, or the biggest reciprocity, it's great that people acknowledge me, I guess. But the biggest thing for me is to see you succeed, right? And not just to see you, not just to hear what I say and it resonate with you and all that stuff, but then for it to actually take root in your heart and you do something with it. And then we see results in your life. That's the biggest compliment anybody could ever make for me, is to actually use what I talk about, or use what I teach, or use what I share, or take from whatever branch of this tree and go do something with it. And then come back and say, look, it worked. Look, oh my goodness, I made my first sale. Look, I started my business day. Look, I closed my first deal. To me, that's the biggest compliment anybody can ever make, to me. But I get it. I appreciate the words and all that stuff, but let me see the words in your life. That's what I want to see. As it relates to how can you get started, you just can simply go to the website, theblackbillionairesclub.com, theblackbillionairesclub.com. You see it right down there in the book somewhere right there.
Yeah, you see it right there.
theblackbillionairesclub.com, and then you go to join the club. And there you'll see 3 different options, 3 different pillars, or 3 different roles, and you choose which membership works best for you. The most popular membership is the silver membership. That's where you get access to all of those different 4 pillars. And then you also get we also are adding that you're going to get a 30-minute coaching session, accountability session. We call it Future by Design, each and every month. You get an opportunity to go one-on-one with the great one, right? You get to go one-on-one with me, and then I hold you accountable. But you got to ask yourself, do you really want someone to actually hold you to greatness? Right? See, most of us were comfortable with somebody who's around that's going to be cool with us being mediocre. I'm not. I'm not cool with you being mediocre. I'm not. I don't stand for it. I don't accept it. And so if you don't want that in your life, well, then you don't want my coaching. But you want the greatness that's inside of you to come out. And you want that thing to be, you want your light to shine across the whole world and all these dark places. Well, it's going to take a little bit of accountability. Someone saying, hey, you said you was going to do this. It didn't get done. Why not? Okay, what we're going to do to make sure it gets done by this date. Okay, now what's next? Let's focus on the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. Let's get it done, son. And hold you accountable to your very own greatness. Here's the deal. If you could do it by yourself, it would already be done. So why not link with people who can help you get it done? We believe that as a good old, I think it's a Indian proverb once said, if you're the smartest person in the room, it's time to find a new room. And we just believe that the Black Billionaires Club could be that new room for many people. That's what we created it for. You get around like-minded people that can actually help you to accomplish your goals and to build your dreams. TheBlackBillionairesClub.com, TheBlackBillionairesClub.com.
Thank you, Evan, for that. Ooh, I'm so excited because I know BBC is on to awesome things, including the third annual.
The third. And it's going to be off the chain. The third annual Black Billionaires Club Extravaganza will be in Atlanta, Georgia. And that will be in April 25th of 2020. That's actually Financial Literacy Month in April. Right. And we're super excited for that. It's basically like a big meetup. When we do also allow other people to come and partake with us as we just celebrate one another, and we also strategize. I party on purpose or with a purpose. It ain't just partying. We go there. We go there to get something too. Right. A lot of teaching going on, a lot of strategizing going on too, as well as we plot out these next steps as a group. You know what I'm saying? As we are also plotting out our individual goals and dreams and desires.
I appreciate that. And you said celebrate. So I felt like that was a great segue to talk about how we motivate, how we uplift, motivate, and celebrate with Inspire Thy World founder, Antoine Lowry. Talk to us about that and your new brand, Vault Life Wealthy Mindset.
That's my brand, my life brand, Inspire Thy World. I uplift, motivate, and celebrate. Join Team ITW. You can shop with me online at inspirethyworld.com. Get some of my inspirational gear. I got some Trust God's Plan shirts. I'm the architect of my future. Love over hate. The new line, this Vault Life, Wealthy Mindset. Wealthy Mindset. Different colors. I got Scully's hats, coats. I definitely gonna have some other things also. Just check with me. Also, all my show Facebook, Inspire That World, or IG, Inspire That World. And you can check out my YouTube channel, which is Inspire That World as well, where you can get some of my just inspirational moments, some of my speaking, a little bit of everything on there. So, you want to connect with me, follow any one of those sites, and you will definitely be uplifted, motivated, or celebrated. And just join Team ITW. And thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So listen, you guys, this means that this is not a space for just us. Today was a great segue into opening up season 6 of Ready, Set, Real Estate, because now we get to talk about what it looks like when you collaborate and align yourself with people of like minds, like spirit. And I say this all the time on Shift Your Thinking. We do it daily. And even during my client consult, I talk about the significance of aligning yourself with the right people. Now, remember, you can also connect with us and be a supporter of everything we do, including our monthly real estate webinars, which we have one coming up this Saturday, which will be covering down payment assistance programs. Now, the webinar is normally $15 a month, but if you join as a loyal supporter, for just $5 a month, it gives you access to all our exclusive video and content. Don't sleep on your girl, because that ends December 1st and it goes up to $10. So lock it in while it's just $60 a year. get grandfathered in, because the only way up, the only way we're headed right now is up. And so I want to make sure that we grow together, connect, build, and share, and we do that together. Thank you again for tuning in. You guys have been amazing. I want to thank my guests, Evan Jefferson and Antoine Lowry, for sharing the platform with me this evening. Again, for those of you who are new to the show, this show is a proud supporter of Real Estate 100 Youth Foundation, where you can send your donations directly to the nonprofit, where it makes our curriculums and programs, our internship and scholarships available for youth ages 10 and up. We're doing amazing things also in our third year, and we have made tremendous strides thanks to the strategic alliances and partnerships that we've had, including people like Evan Jefferson of the BBC, including people like Antoine Lowry of Inspire Thy World, and including you. But you need to take that first step and reach out. All right, with that being said, I want to thank you all. Have a powerful and productive evening. We will see you next week as we continue our show. Season 6 rolls on with episode 2. We'll see you next time.